and welcome to Unqualified Game Chat, episode 18. I am your host, Azario Lopez, and with me today is my co-host, Spencer the Legacy.
That's me, Achimone.
Oh, I love it. I don't know how long it's going to be until I get bored of singing your name, but
Never.
When I hear it and when I say it, it's hard not to sing it.
It just gives you a little boost.
Yeah.
Just a little woo.
How do
like
you
caffeine?
Like if we were in an interview, if I was interviewing you, my first question would be, Spencer, how do you live your daily life with such a cool name? What do you do to live up to that name?
Well, everyone pronounces it wrong and they say legace or legass. So most people
it's because they doubt how cool that could be. They're like, there's no way, like their brain tells them there's no way this can exist because it's too good. So let's say the wrong word, you know?
Yeah, that's why I spell with a Y, so that people know I'm serious, that I'm the real deal, that I am the legacy. And then I try and live up to that, and it goes different ways depending on the situation, but you know, it's the name that counts.
Yes.
That's what counts.
What's your favorite game with the word legacy in the title?
Now I'm like, damn, what games have legacy in the title? There's like Legacy of Kain.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's all I can think of.
Is there a Legend of Legacy?
Legend of Legacy? I don't think so. Comment those dang games with legacy in them.
Let us know all the games with the word legacy in them in the comments below, and we'll choose our favorites.
Yeah.
And maybe send you
a little shout out.
I have a few free games. So give us your favorite game with the word legacy, and I will send you a code for a free game.
And it can't be Legacy of Kain because we already said it.
And it might or might not be a copy of Capcom Arcade on PS4.
Wow, that's big.
Did it just come out? Yes, it did.
Yes, it did.
And that's just the type of people we are at this show. That is recorded every week and posted to Thursday. Posted not to Thursday, more so on Thursday.
On Thursday.
And on your podcast services, you got your
Every
iTunes,
Thursday.
your Spotify's. And I learned that we're on iHeartRadio. I did not know that.
Damn.
Yes, we're on there too.
Oh, iHeartRadio.
And we're on YouTube, where you can watch.
Yeah, that's where you can watch us being like funny and doing cool faces and stuff. Oh, like that.
Mark is trying to make us use an overlay because we just have black bars on the top of us. I was like, that's so gorilla of us, though.
Yeah, we're kind of like punk rock.
Yeah, we carry this kind of attitude with us, and I think that should be respected.
Mama's fucking podcast. You got that?
We're not here making pressure cooker recipes, all right?
Get out of here, Betty Crocker ass bitch.
Why do we turn into a sassy?
We're shock jocks now.
Listen, bitch. Get out of here with that.
All right, you dumb babies. Let's talk video games, motherfucker.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
On to serious biz. Spencer, what are you playing?
Well, for review, I've been playing dang Earth Defense Force World Brothers. Did you play that one for review?
I played a preview of it. I did not review it. We have a review pending right now. It should be out by Friday.
It's interesting. I've only played one or two EDFs, and they were, ironically, they were buggy. Very buggy.
They were kaiju-y
and buggy. Lots of bugs, both insects and technical issues. But this one's not buggy. I mean, there's bugs, as in there's insects, but it's pretty smooth. It's a little repetitive because, you know, it's EDF. You're for those who don't know, you're just killing big bugs with friends
Yeah, I heard there's like 200 missions in this thing too. There's tons.
I think there's 60, but there's 4 difficulties. And
jeez.
Doing it on a hard one doesn't do it on normal and easy. So you have to do it a whole bunch of times. That's too much for me. I was like, I can't do 60 missions 4 times. It's a bit too repetitive for me to be able to do that. But like in spurts, it's really fun because you have all these like, it's almost heartwarming. It's like about everyone in the world coming together to fight bugs. So it's like, oh, funny American cowboy. Oh, funny Japanese ninja. Oh, funny Canadian bear man. And it's like,
how problematic.
Like, yeah.
How problematic is Sombrero Bro? Or
I saw that and I was like, can they?
Is that his name? It's like
I think he's called Amigo Brother.
Amigo Bro.
I think that's what he's called. And I saw him and I was like,
the first words that you'd think of was problematic.
I was like, that might be. I don't know if you like. I can't really comment but that when I saw that, I was like, oh, that seems like a problem. But I don't know.
As a Lopez, I'm not offended. I had a burrito for dinner tonight.
That was the bravest thing you've ever said.
Yeah, I came out and said it. I feel so. I'm like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. All these years I've been hiding it behind this pale complexion from staying indoors. But now
that we can go outside again.
Now that I have an Amigo Bro, I just feel liberated.
Did you feel represented when you saw him? Or was that your first? You were like,
it's like, holy shit, that looks like my uncle.
Yeah, like that's the only things I can think of is either someone being like, oh, nice, or someone being like, oh, no. And I don't think there's a middle ground where someone's just like, oh.
And they just move on completely.
Yeah.
No, it is either you're very offended or you laugh your ass off.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those two. When I saw it, I was like, uh-oh. Anyway. Because I can't
go
to
Polygon to search it up real quick to see if they've discovered it.
But I mean, I will say the game does it equally across everyone.
It's everyone. Everyone gets the EDF treatment.
The Japanese characters are either samurai or cat maids. So, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'm just reviewing it. I don't know. But it's almost heartwarming. It's like, I'm a cowboy. What's miso soup? And he's like, miso soup is delicious and gives you energy. I see you are from a different culture, so let me teach you. And he's like, that sounds like good home cooking. And I'm like, beautiful. This is actually fucking beautiful.
This is fucking wholesome.
This is wholesome. This is peaceful as hell, dude. This is like the way that the world should be. It's just everyone teaching each other. So I was very pleasantly surprised to find it's like the most wholesome game about just murdering giant bugs. But overall, it's fun to experiment with like all the really weird characters. I unlocked someone who looked like Hunk from Resident Evil, and he was German, and he just repeatedly yells about German science. And I was like, this is silly. I like this. Like it's very goofy. And I think the voxel style works really well for it, the tone. But overall, like as someone who hasn't played a lot of EDF, so I don't know like the returning classes and stuff, it's a fun, repetitive but fun game that I can imagine playing with friends would be really fun. Like,
yeah. Were you able to play online?
I played online, but I wasn't able to play with people I know. So I played online and I had fun because like missions go faster and you can like
definitely because you don't have to switch through characters all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, and everyone like covers different things, so it's a very fun game. It's got some moments. I don't know, some moments.
Yeah,
I don't know. But it's neat, and it makes me interested in future EDF games. I'm sure they're very similar, but I mean. It's interesting because other than that, I was just playing Nocturne before a review went up. So it was a big change in tone
definitely
from like the oppressive negativity, which is a positive thing of Nocturne, to like heartwarming, like the world uniting to save it from bugs. So it was an interesting change. I liked it though. It's a fun game.
Cool.
It's
Anything
like the
else?
perfect 7.5 game.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you're gonna get your 7s, your 7.5s.
Yeah.
But what would be a 9 EDF game though? Like what would be a 9 or a 10 EDF game?
That's tough. Maybe like,
you know, the problem, the general line problem with these EDF games is that if they had the development backing, they could create these lush open worlds, you know, huge environments where you can go from one area to the next with large draw distances and very packed full of things to open, ways to destroy the world, you know. But with their expertise, it's everything's condensed into missions, right? So you can't do that large scale way. So the only thing that I can think of for a 9 is if they had more money to develop a better world.
Throw in that Attack on Titan mobility of zipping around. Throw in that.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Because if you look at an EDF game, there's no textures in the buildings, and it's because they just break. And why spend so much time if you're just gonna make it fall apart? But add to that, you know, like instead of it just falling apart as if it's a hollow thing, like make it an event to where maybe a building can crack in half or just have a hole in it, you know, like.
I think that would contribute to the B movie feel that they have. I think that would add to that. So maybe if they lean into that more too, more like insects from outer space and like huge explosives and like stuff like that, maybe. Yeah. But it's tough. Maybe because I don't have a ton of experience with EDF, but I'd say that that's probably on the right track.
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough though, because it's just a game where you're shooting down kaiju. So
it's got one goal and it does it fine.
It does it fine. So, yeah. But there are ways there's always ways to improve, and that's what we're here for.
Exactly. What have you been playing, Azario?
Crap. You know what? I've been playing 2 games.
Ooh.
And they were put on me by surprise. I wasn't trying to review games. I'm kind of trying to limit myself because I've just been editing so much and writing so much that I kind of want the other writers to take on the review responsibilities and improve their. So this week I took on a game called Sunblaze, and it is a 2D platformer, but it's like, have you ever played like those Boshi games? Like I Am the Boshi, or like, they're just like really hard and one hit kills, and then all this random stuff happens. Or
I want to be the guy.
Yeah, I want to be the guy or whatever.
Okay, yeah. No, I know, like in Kaizo Mario, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it has that appeal where like these random things like spikes will come out of the wall and hit you, but it's just one screen. Each level is just one screen, and your goal is to get to this chip at the other side of the room. But in that one room, there's like lasers and electric squares, and then once you hit the chip, the room just kind of expands to the next level. It's really cool the way they transition through stages. So I ended up having so much fun with this game, and I didn't know what to expect, because in my head when I first saw it, I thought it was just a 2D platformer and that was it. You do levels and stuff, but it ended up being like a puzzle platformer, more geared towards speedrunners, right? You have when every time you die, the timer resets a little. The timer resets on the stage, so the enemies or the lasers will reset to where if you start running right when you start the game, you'll probably be on the right timing to get through the level and do the jumps, and you have the same mobility, the double jump, dash, and it's addicting, you know. You'll die. I think by the time I was on the 3rd stage, which there's like 600 levels, and there's 6 chapters. So I think there's 100. I think there's 100 levels a chapter. I think that's what they have it out. But there's so many levels that I kind of lost track. But I had like 1,600 deaths by the end of the 3rd chapter.
Wow.
So, and they have a counter that reminds you how many times you die, and so you'll always know. Yeah. But there's a story that goes with it too, where this girl Josie is trying to be a superhero, but her dad kind of locks her into this training simulator, and then it gets corrupted, and she's stuck in it to try and brute force her way through it. So there's some charming interactions with her, and there's some cringy moments where like they'll use slang and stuff, and it doesn't always land, but they're trying to be funny with the story. I thought she was charming though. I thought she was cute.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a Sunblaze. It's I don't hear anyone talking about it, but maybe they should.
It sounds fun in the way that like the games that you listed are fun, and that you're determined. You die and you're like, okay, this time. Yeah. Okay.
It's not as it's more polished than I Am the Man or whatever. It's not as Dojin, you know, it's very refined in that sense, where everything is well detailed and well choreographed, and you can kind of through your deaths, you can kind of read how to get through these rooms, and you're not discouraged from progression. There's always a way to get through. Yeah. You're never going to be like, your skills are never going to, they're never going to ask you for skills that they haven't already implemented into you through dozens of stages.
Yeah. So it's smart in that way.
Yeah. It makes you feel smart too.
Yeah, that's the best kind of game. The kind that inflates the ego.
The other game I'm playing is Astalon, Tears of the Earth. And by God, Spencer, I think it's my favorite game so far. Favorite indie game of this year. Hands down.
That's big.
This game is reminiscent of an 8-bit Castlevania.
I like that.
Metroidvania style adventure game, where these 3 characters, these 2 guys and a girl, they wind up at a tower to save their village, and they're just like, what is this tower here? And they see they encounter the boss right in the beginning, and they're like, they don't even know who this guy is. Yeah. And the way that they're just like, hey, we're only here because our town is being destroyed by a poison. Is there any way you can help? Like they didn't go there looking for a fight. They went there essentially just to get answers, you know? Yeah. And turns out this guy's the enemy, kills him. Well, one of the characters, Algus, is a wizard, and he's made a pact with the Titan of Death. And the Titan of Death, the pact that they make is that he can die as many times as he wants. But once he gets to the top of that tower, to meet his goal, his soul will belong to the Titan of Death. Now, the other 2 characters don't know that he made this pact. Yeah. They're in the dark, but they get revived with him. So that's about all you know in the beginning about these 3 characters. But then there's like these camping scenes that you unlock throughout the mission, and the camp is where you can switch characters, because you have to go to the camp to switch through each of the 3 characters, who each do different things and have different attacks and have different stats, and they're all individual and unique in their own way. And the camping scenes have like these really charming stories between the 3 of them, and that's how you learn about them. And it doesn't need to be there at all, you know, but they share like these anecdotes and these jokes with each other, and it's so nice, you know, to get delivered a backstory in that way, whereas typically these games don't give a damn about the backstory, and you only get to a boss, and then they'll have some back and forth, and that's how you'll ingest it, you know?
Yeah, that's the main bits of story.
Yeah, you know, even games like Gunvolt, who do these 2D action games quite well, kind of fell on the front of how do we deliver a story properly, and I think this game does it well, because it has its 2D action, and it has its Metroidvania, but the Metroidvania is like times 10, dude, where they have so many fucking rooms to get lost in, so many branching paths. The map becomes enormous. And it's not a long game. The length of the game comes from you'll die, you'll use these blue orbs that enemies drop, and then you'll upgrade your characters or buy. Like in the beginning, you'll find these items, but you won't know what they do. But if you die, you can buy this knowledge orb that gives you a better description of the items, or you can unlock a better map. You can buy a better map. So like there's strength in dying in this game more so than just leveling up your characters. You actually can change how you navigate the world. Super clever. Plus, there's random environmental puzzles that aren't explained at all, except if you find where the hidden room is, that kind of tells you, oh, you should think about hitting this stuff or maybe not do this. And that's how you get secret items like levitation or a mirror attack. Super rad, dude.
That's cool.
Maybe the only thing I didn't like is some of the bosses can be cheesed through, because if you spend time finding all the upgrades and all the better attacks, you can probably destroy the bosses pretty quickly. But it's a very challenging game. Very challenging. And very fun.
I love me a good Metroidvania. So it sounds like a good game to kind of fill that need.
It's rare that I want to talk about a game like this so excitedly. It's like I don't normally like tell people like this is a game that you should play, but this is the fact that nobody is talking about this game, or there's very little online about it. Kind of tells me that maybe I should talk about it a little more.
Yeah, hey, it's good for everybody.
Yeah,
your game gets talked about, more people play a good game. It's good.
It's good.
Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Cool. And that brings us to our conversation today.
Ooh, what's that about?
Today, it kind of sucks that we seem to be like on this PlayStation Sony binge of weeks.
People probably think we're big PlayStation podcast.
We're not.
Yeah.
I'll use a different featured image just to differentiate from The Last of Us and the Horizons that we talked about last time.
Yeah.
This time though, I want to talk about how we don't even need to own a PS5.
Yeah. What was the point?
What was the point of being these early adopters of the PlayStation 5? I even feel sad for the people who bought it for like $1,200.
That's rough.
There's honestly, right now, there's no reason to buy a PS5. And I think, and Sony is pushing this narrative, if only because today they announced that God of War Ragnarok will be on PS4 and PS5 releasing in 2022. Real quick, did you expect this game to be a PS5 exclusive?
I did, yeah. I assumed it would be because it's a huge, like, tentpole game that's like, because Ratchet and Clank is exclusive. So I figured, so that's probably the first of the big, major titles that's going to be primarily exclusive. So I thought, God of War is probably going to be way more intensive visually than Ratchet and Clank, because Ratchet and Clank has a different style going for it that I think works really well, but is very different from the more realistic looking God of War. So I assumed that it would definitely be PS5 only. So I was shocked to find out that it's going to be both.
It's strange too, because when I look back at like Demon Souls Remastered, could that game be put on PS4?
I think it would be possible. Like I bought it day one and I love it, but I feel like it's the fact that it's like the only currently available PS5 exclusive game is so strange. Oh, I guess is Sackboy on PS4?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. Then it is the only one.
Is Returnal's a PS5 exclusive.
Oh, Returnal. Forgot about Returnal.
I think
so as well.
Yeah, Sackboy is on PS4. Okay, so we're not dumb. Yeah, but Returnal's not on PS4.
No. So maybe they're going to be like alternating.
No, I think they're a bunch of freaking liars, dude. I think they launched the PS5 because they had their word, right? Like, we're gonna have to launch this year, especially if Microsoft is launching. But they didn't take into consideration that this pandemic was going to hit.
Yeah,
it was going to throw off all of their manufacturing. The manufacturing of chips is so low right now that even in that sense, their mind is like, well, crap. We're not going to have as many PS5s out in the wild as we would have wanted to when God of War released. As one, as a system seller, and two, as a way to promote this brand, the God of War brand, get in as many fans' hands as possible.
Yeah.
So when they say it's 2022 and that we're still going to be getting exclusive PS4 games, it just has me question, like, why did I even buy a PS5?
Yeah, like, I mean, I do get the reasoning of, like, there's the less PS5s than they think are out, and I get that having it on PS4 means more units to sell, but it does feel a little like you don't need a PS5 right now.
Yeah, I got duped.
Yeah, which, and like I said on like previous episodes, like I love my PS5 and stuff, but it definitely feels like if you're not in a business that requires you to like review games on PS5, you don't need a PS5.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because you would think that they would want to incentivize the PS5 to make you, want it and to go out and get it, to experience it. And like I said, like I get that not everyone can get it right now, and that's really difficult. It was a pain to get mine too. But it does feel strange to be like potentially 2 years after the PS5 launch to still be having like PS4 5 splits, like for huge games. That's like, I'm trying to think if that really happened with PS4, but
when the PS4 came out, they put all their focus onto the PS4, and I remember they stopped releasing exclusives. I think Last of Us was like the last big PS3 release. Yeah. And then they kind of stepped back after that and had all their studios refocused to PS4 games. This is like the first time in a console generation where there's no line is blurred now. There's no console generations anymore, and that's what they're trying to say. I'll be interested to see if Microsoft takes this approach with Halo whenever that comes out. If they're going to say, "Oh, it's also on Xbox One," I doubt they'll do that, but
it'll be interesting to see if they do.
Yeah, because right now. And Sony, I just can't back what Sony is doing. Not only is God of War a PS4, PS5 game, but the New Horizon is too.
Yeah.
What's the difference between those games and Ratchet and Clank? Why does Ratchet and Clank need to be a PS5 exclusive? Their messaging is all over the place.
It's true. It seems like I would have guessed that Ratchet would be the one that's multi-platform, and God of War Horizon isn't.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's not, I'm not saying anything against Ratchet. It's just, it seems like time-wise and game-wise that would be the one that would be cross-dimensional. Cross-generational.
Could be cross-dimensional.
So it seems strange to me. I agree that it's mixed messaging. It's kind of saying like, you can still have a PS4 for a while longer, which for some people is good. But for people who have the PS5, it does feel like it's like, oh, why do I have it right now?
Yeah, I guess that's the appeal of the PS5 or the PS4 Pro, right?
You're gonna launch PS4 running God of War Ragnarok.
I think the last game I reviewed on my launch PS4 was Assassin's Creed Valhalla. and that made my thing hum, dude. I'm surprised it didn't break.
Hell, Monster Hunter World made my PS4 go like
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, PS4, just please let me beat this game.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
just 100 more hours.
Don't die. I need to get this review up by Tuesday. It's a weird. I mean, it's neat that we have features like DualSense and 4K, but I don't know. It's strange.
I feel bad. I just feel bad for the fans of this and how Sony is approaching this narrative. And as we come closer to E3 and the announcements that we're going to get from shows during this digital event, I'm interested to see what their plan is.
Yeah, same here.
I don't think they're announcing anything proper, but we're going to be seeing some other studios announce PS5 games, I'm guessing, third-party stuff.
Yeah.
My interest is stuff like Idea Factory International is releasing the new Neptunia game on as a PS5 exclusive.
That's
super weird.
Yeah, that's
super weird. It's just a remaster of a Vita game that was a remastered of a PS3 game, though.
Yeah, that seems like something that could be on both.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how developers, because even publishers like Koei Tecmo, they don't seem to even be paying attention to PS5 right now. They put Atelier Ryza on there, but they're not putting the new Ninja Gaiden. There's no PS5 or Xbox Series X upgrade for Ninja Gaiden. Samurai Warriors 5, same thing. It's kind of daunting, you know. Like I don't know why I bought a glorified PS4 essentially.
I think because of the reasons we listed, we're going to have a longer period than previous generations of, here's an upgrade to the PS5 version. Or like, I think we're going to have more of that for a while.
I'm interested to see when developers stop doing that, offering that too.
Yeah.
It can't be forever.
It can be forever.
It's not going to be forever. Sooner or later, if you buy the cheaper version, you're not going to get the free one.
It's true. You can't dip your toe in the water forever. Eventually, you got to take a cannonball.
Yeah. So I would like to know, let us know in the comments what you think about this change, this weird generational gap between consoles, and if you even care to buy a PS4 or PS5. And if you own a PS5, let us know if you're enjoying any PS5 exclusives.
Or upgrades. Did you like in Resident Evil Village how the gun goes
every time you switch a weapon?
I don't know. Maybe. I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let us know.
Not neat enough to buy a console for, but
no, definitely not.
Neat.
Definitely not. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. That's the end of the show. So long, everyone. So long.